right, we're on episode 1 of Runs on the Board, joined by Crossy, Monday the 29th of June. I'm doing this because we're time stamping it so we can look back at all of our retrospective, unbelievable, forward-thinking commentary about cricket in Australia. And we haven't even hit the 26-27 season yet, but there's lots going on in cricket, from America to the county game to the series, the white ball series. Crossy, what do you make of the off-season so far?
Mate, it's been a bit of a hectic off season. Obviously, watching closely what's happening in Major League Cricket, that's been exciting. The cricketers over in England, obviously the Test match and time stamping it. Ben Stokes' announcement overnight was interesting. So there's just a heap of stuff going on. The Irish beating the Indians, the Aussie girls eliminating the Indian girls. There's plenty going on. It doesn't really feel like an off season with that much cricket happening at the moment, does it?
I was going to say it's become a 24/7, 365 game, which is healthy, I suppose, but it's hard to keep up with everything. But then we land here in the summer in Australia with the Shield starting in September or so, and there's lots of things happening with domestic cricket in Australia. What's one of the things that you're most excited about to get it going again, mate? I know you're going to be behind the mic, but when it comes to Shield cricket, what are you excited about?
Look, I'm excited to see what South Australia can do again. I think, can they go 3 in a row? That's going to be huge. Victoria's come off a massive season but fell at the final hurdle. What happens to WA? WA have been a powerhouse for so long. Can they sort of kick back? There's some movement in Tassie. New South Wales have made some string of changes with Brad Haddon coming back in. Mate, it's going to be a fascinating Shield season, I think. And I think Victoria is going to learn a lot from what happened last year, and they're going to be hard to beat again. But, wow, a three-peat for South Australia would be unbelievable.
Mate, in this neck of the woods, some breaking news during the week with James Hopes being announced as the Queensland coach as well, from a pretty disappointing year. A good start for the Queenslanders, but then sort of fizzled out towards the end. So coaching changes, personnel changes, not too much movement of the players between states, but a few up-and-coming players that maybe made their debut this year that might have their opportunity to shine. Who are you looking out for?
Yeah, I think Queensland's a very exciting place now with James Hopes walking in. Obviously, Tim Paine was tipped for that role for a couple of weeks, but then I think something fell through there. But to have James Hopes, I guess, take the Sydney Sixers role, then come back and take the Heat and the Queensland role, I think it's a huge win for Queensland cricket. James Hopes is a very big Queensland personality and Queensland family, so to have him in control is going to be super exciting for Queensland. And yeah, like they've got some serious players like Hugh Weibgen. We talk about the next generation, the next 11 guys like this. They've been around for a couple of seasons now. Like, it's funny how you go from real young to, hey, it's your time. And I think someone like a Hugh Weibgen is going to be he's going to have a huge year. I think he's a serious player, and I think for me, he'll play cricket for Australia. It's just how quick can he get it together? Will he be a 20 test player? But if he can get it together quickly, he'll play 100 test matches for Australia.
Interesting on the Tim Paine, there was some rumours floating around that he'd verbally accepted. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, but didn't get the gig, and James Hopes did. Has he popped up anywhere? Have you seen any news about what Tim Paine's up to?
Oh, well, Paine is a good mate of mine, not really giving too much away, but look, I think it was a really good, constructive conversation with Queensland Cricket. He obviously lives up there. He lives up in Noosa. But I just don't think it just worked for both parties. I think there was some issues with timing and family, and I think Paine is still coaching the Australia A side. So it just didn't work. From all reports from my end that I've heard, that the conversation and the process was all a really good one with Queensland Cricket. And then obviously for then Queensland to go and get James Hopes, rip him away from the Sydney Sixers, which I thought was a big move for the Sixers to go with Hopesy, but I think it makes sense for James Hopes to be at Queensland and the Brisbane Heat. And he's been an assistant for a long time, Hopesy now. He's been down in Tassie for a bit. He's been with Ricky Ponting around the world in the IPL. So he's had a really big apprenticeship, and I think he's ready to take his own side and make his own mark. And I'm excited to see what he can do with this Queensland side.
And speaking of Queensland, we've got a plethora of fast bowlers. Callum Vidler's only played a handful of games thus far, but when he did play, he was bowling at 140 plus. Not too desirable for the batters, I wouldn't have thought. But if he is fit and bowling 140 plus and getting wickets, you would think there should be some higher honours potentially there. But I know he's got to get some games under his belt. Any thoughts there, Crossy?
Yeah, mate, he's good. I think Cal Vidler's he's one to watch. As you said, he's not overly tall like the rest of them, but he's fast and he's aggressive. I think he can push potentially if he gets his body right, push into the 150s. Now, this is going to be the next thing for him: is can he keep his body right? Can he stay on the park? And if he can, what's his tank like? How long can he bowl 154? It's a tough. You need to be a super athlete to be able to do it. Obviously, he's had a bit of a setback with injury, but hopefully he comes back stronger because he's definitely someone as a batter in first class cricket. You don't want to face someone that can get the ball going through it at that speed, and he's one of the really, really exciting ones for Australian cricket.
Young and exciting, but also hasn't played much Shield cricket. But the people have played Shield cricket, people like Nathan McAndrew and Liam Scott, who's now just got higher honours. Couple of South Australian quicks there, mate. What are your thoughts on some of the existing quicks in the system already?
Those South Australian quicks, I think that there's three of them that I really like. Buckingham, McAndrew was outstanding in a Shield final. When you dominate a Shield final like that, you should be sort of thought about at the next level. And I think he's someone that may not be a 100 test player, but he could step in and do a job and probably deserves a crack at one-day cricket or in some Australian colours, I would have thought. And then Liam Scott, obviously seeing him play for Australia just recently was super exciting. And he's one that it's going to be interesting. If he can continually make runs, his bowling, I think he's more of a bowling all-rounder in my eyes, but I think his batting he's got enough upside there that the question for me, can he get his batting to the point where he could be a top 7 player in international cricket? And if he can do that, I think Australia have found a good one. And Andrew McDonald obviously likes him. He's very similar to like an Andrew McDonald, a bit quicker than what Andrew McDonald was, but Ronnie was able to bat at 7 in Test cricket. And I think that's what that next all-rounder has to be able to do. They have to be able to push carry up to 6 and bat at 7 themselves. So if Liam Scott can do it, who knows, he could take that all-rounder spot.
And, mate, you're still going around the club circuit as the godfather of Victorian Premier Cricket with a premiership under your belt last year. Lots of talent that you see as a player still in Premier grade in Victoria. Some of the players that you've got your eye on that you may have seen as a 15-year-old coming through the ranks and now making either Shield debuts or rookie contracts, etc.?
Yeah, so we've got a couple actually under my nose pretty quickly. Tom Paddington, who's got a rookie contract, big fast bowler, played in the Australian under-19s, has had a really good year, won a premiership at St Kilda, was very good. And the leader of that attack that's won someone who's making waves, a little bit older, but Matt Hennig, not on contract, but now training with Victoria. Don't be surprised if he plays a lot of white ball cricket for Victoria this year. He's fast. He's the quickest we have in Victoria. He probably touches that 150, big, strong guy who can also smack it as well. So hasn't come through the traditional path, but that doesn't mean he's not in the next 11. So really looking forward to seeing what he can do because he's the quickest and he's raw here in Victoria. So that's a name to keep on the black book is Matt Hennig coming out of St Kilda into Victoria.
Very good, mate. Very good. I love that you're still trotting around, and there's rumours that you're going to go again. Is that right?
Yeah, mate. I think I'll play again. It's I'll probably swan in and swan out. Hopefully, get dropped at some stage, but still enjoying it, mate. Pre-season sort of kicks you in the backside when you pass 35, let alone when you pass 40. So that's hurting me a little bit at the moment. So a couple more months of that and then into the fun stuff, into playing cricket. So it should be great. I think Victorian cricket this year looking good in clubland. There's a lot of things happening. We talk of century cricket. There's a couple of tournaments in Mackay and Brisbane coming up, so we're bringing the best club players from around the country into Mackay and then into Brisbane in early August. So there's some tournament cricket. As much as it's not Shield cricket, there's some tournament cricket with some of the best playing very, very soon.
Mate, I look forward to that. That's fantastic. Now, we'll save this for another episode, but just looking at my spreadsheet of players by age who are contracted by their states and people to look out for to either make their debut coming through. We've got Steve Hogan from Queensland, who's 18. Aaron Sharma. Do you know much about Aaron Sharma?
Yeah, mate, Sharma's a young spinner from Carlton who played Aussie 19s. Good little player, got a bit of something about him. He's got a bit of swagger, so he's we're looking forward to sort of seeing him come in and probably nail a spot in that Carlton lineup. And then he's a Victorian contracted player, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes through the second 11.
Depth of talent, full of talent here in Australia, of a plethora of talent coming through for cricket. Crossy, great to chat for episode number 1, mate.
Great to chat, mate. Always good talking about these young players coming through. Can't wait to see which one of them stick their hand up and put the runs on the board.